Aussie.
All right, it's oh, that's it's a bit much space above my head. I don't like that. Let's try that. That's a bit more like it. Ready on a Sunday night, and I'm gonna do my usual thing. God fucking damn it! Speaking of doing my usual thing, forgot my cocktail skewer, which I do want to get. All right, don't. Before there's anyone in here, I'm gonna run out and get it. All right, so I'm back, and I'm gonna get ready to shoot my first cocktail video of the evening. Okay, let's get this happening. All right, so we got this. We're gonna shake this up. Gonna do a dash of aromatic bitters. Okay, so. Naked amaretto. All right, there's that. And let's get everything ready. Get everything ready. Okay. All right, ready. Let's pour this sucker out. Three-quarters of an ounce of amaretto. Well, that's very tasty. Alrighty, let's Get this lined up. The other thing I should do. Gotta have this in an Equinora blood. Yeah. So. All right. All right. This is all ready. Hey, honey, how you going? Just doing my standard. Starting. Oh man. Hoisting's hoist. Fix this light a little bit. Cord gets all twisted and tangled. That's what I like. Daarvoor niet goed. Put that in there. There we go. That's working. That's about right. This over here. This here. Sure that's lined up. That's pretty good. All right. Get on. That is the wrong thing. What the fuck is that? And foam. I forgot to get my foam. Where is it? There it is. Okay, that's it done. Is that honey? Oh, the old War and Peace movie. Wowzers. And Back to the Future on DVD. The War and Peace is a real, it probably depends what cut there is. I think there were lots of cuts. Let's do this. Shake this booty. Fucker wasn't sealed. So what do we like? Let me put that there. Just check that framing. Okay. I forgot to get my cherry ready. Let's do that now. Oh, can't be many left in here. Got a first go there, so that's a plus. All right, the cocktail made. And I think it looks pretty good, so I'll take a photo. Let's put these lids back on. I just like the picture more if the lids are on. Oh man, the stopper is really tight. You could work in a that's what she said. All right, let's get a photo happening. Hey, Rays. Oh yes, I'm wearing a kilt. Yes, it was hot today. It's kilt day. I've been known to do it. Yes, welcome to kilt day. Okay, let's go. Now I'm going to do the talk bit. Now I'm going to actually disappear for a minute. Oh, you got a 200. You have a 200-minute version of War and Peace. That's full on. Okay. My hands got all sticky. That's what she said. Okay, turning this around. And this up. Okay, we turn the audio recorder on. Und let's line this sucker up. Wise up, sucker. That's good. That will do. You saying Rays? Some shit you just don't expect in life. Coming to a live field, man who wants to dangle around on a toilet mixing cocktails in a kilt. Well, dude, life's full of surprises. That's all I'm going to say. G'day, cocktail lovers. This is an Amaretto Whiskey Sour. Now, it's not an Amaretto Sour, and it's not the version of the Amaretto Sour Jeffrey Morgenthaler developed that had whiskey in it. That's mainly Amaretto supported by whiskey to give it a bit of a beefy punch. A beefy punch? Where did that come from? There's just a whole bunch of people that are probably traumatized with that just incredibly disturbing phrase. Let's move on. What I actually did, and this was inspired when I was looking around at a few other recipes using amaretto in unusual places, I thought, you know what? I'm going to do one. It's a whiskey sour, which was probably the first cocktail I seriously got into. And I have less than I used to. In fact, less than I should, I think, because the whiskey sour and sours generally are great. But what I'm doing with this one, instead of Morgenthaler's amaretto sour, where it's mostly amaretto and supported by whiskey, this is mostly whiskey and using amaretto as the sweetener. And it's actually inspired by this whiskey. Now, this is from a maker called, what are they called? This is from a group called White Possum. They're the people I get my casks from, if you remember me doing cask-aged cocktails, etc. And they make liqueurs. And what they did is actually get some single malt whiskey from a distillery called Chief Son, which is about an hour's drive from me, make great whiskies. And they finished it in a barrel that they'd aged amaretto. See, I'm using their amaretto as well. They call it naked amaretto because there's nothing artificial in it. And you'll notice it's much darker than most amarettos are. It's really quite tasty. And so the whiskey was aged in the barrels where they aged this amaretto. This is not actually the barrel-aged amaretto. They've sold that separately, and I haven't tried it yet. But I thought, this is just, amaretto, and I'm hoping it came out well. Let's give it a taste test and try it. Unsurprisingly, this has come out really well. Here's how I made it. In a shaker, we put 2 ounces or 60 mils of the whiskey of your choice. And then we're adding 3/4 of an ounce, which is around 22.5 mils of amaretto. Then add 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of lemon juice. And then I'm also adding 1/4 of an ounce, around 7.5 mils of orgeat. Then I'm adding 1 dash of aromatic bitters, and because I like my sours foamy, I'm putting in a few drops of a foaming agent. I'm doing a dry shake first, which means shaking the cocktail for about 15-20 seconds without ice in it. And then I'm adding the ice that I was using to chill my glass, and then I'm going to shake it again for another 10 or 15 seconds so it's nice and chilled. You could serve this over ice, but I'm serving it up in a Nick and Nora glass. And because I think it looks nice against the foam, I'm adding a maraschino cherry on a skewer as the garnish. Sours don't have to be foamy. The oldest tradition is using egg white, which I just find a bit messy. I've got nothing against egg white sours. And you can also use a vegan alternative called aquafaba, or there are a few commercial foaming agents on the market, like the one I use. Like I said, the foam bit is optional. I like it. I like how it looks, and I like the mouthfeel. This has come together really nicely. It's much more like a whiskey sour than an amaretto sour, but a little bit of the nuttiness. That's also why I added a little bit of orgeat. I just thought, just another little bit of nuttiness to accentuate that side of it. And it's made it into a really nice old-fashioned. I was going to say old-fashioned. It's made it into a really nice sour. And as an experiment, the result has been good. File this under, always encouraging you folks to experiment out there. Like, I can safely wager no one has this because it was an incredibly limited edition. But when you've got something interesting or unusual, use it for inspiration. And that's what I've done here. And it's worked really well. And I hope it gives you ideas for something to do on your own, even just with a regular whiskey and amaretto like this. I think if you've tried an amaretto sour and a Morgenthaler amaretto sour, try it this way. I think it's quite an interesting alternative. And I hope to hear from you if you do try it. And either way, I hope you're back and seeing some more videos later, because I'm going to make plenty more. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy this. Hope you're enjoying yourself wherever you are. And until I see you again, I'll say cheers. All right, all right, all right. Now there'll be a little bit more runoff from my shaker as well. Just add that. Just a tiny bit more to the drinky. I'm gonna have to rinse these because of the foam, because I want to use them again. Oh, and they're all sticky. Now I'm all sticky. That's right, because I spilled it. I remember it wasn't sealed. Gosh, hello, Megalich. Thank you, Rays. I did not see you reminding me to take a photo, but I did take it. But thank you so much for having my back on that. Oh. And in fact, if I hadn't already taken it, it wouldn't have been too late because I didn't drink much of it. So I very much appreciate the reminder, because I forget, not half the time, but I think about 1 time in 4, I forget to do it, which is super annoying. All right. So you got suggested Study, you're not sure go career-wise. Want to go to uni? Criminology, interesting. I imagine, I know nothing about criminology or what career paths it leads to. It's doubtless interesting. I think it definitely sounds interesting. And I think that's one of the biggest things. If you're doing uni, do something that you want to do something that you're pretty sure you'll enjoy. Because goddamn, I've heard too many stories from people, particularly when they're young, straight out of school, doing the thing at uni that was expected of them. That's what their parents wanted. And it went nowhere with like, and this is like, okay, the one I always bring up is she's been in a few videos of mine back with Eva Viola. She did a science degree and did extremely well. And it's fucking impossible to get a job as a scientist in Australia because of the lack of funding for the sciences. She's doing really well in life, but the science degree, at least last I talked to her, wasn't part of it. So definitely do something that you're interesting. Yes, study of criminal behavior. Dude, it's I reckon a university that's offering a criminology course would probably also have suggestions of this is the career path that will lead you. They probably have friggin' testimonials from former students saying where it got them. So I reckon look into it. You know, mate, who knows who said to it? It sounds interesting to you. Those are two good reasons to look into it. Get whiskey sour. I'm gonna make another boozy cocktail soon. Ooh, okay. Where's my Trello board? And I will. Oof, what was that, Trello? Just wanted to reload. Fair enough. All right. Amarosco whiskey sour goes from to do to doing. And then I was going to do a meat hook. Yes, indeedy. I didn't get the Punta Mez out of the fridge. God damn it. I always try to look. What am I planning to do? Do I need to get something out of the fridge? What if I do this one? The Arbitrary Nature of Time. I love the name of that. Rye whiskey, bitter aperitivo, cherry liqueur, orange beer. Look, honestly, maybe I'll do that so I don't have to go and get the bloody bottle out of the fridge. Oh, you're going to call your mate and have a chat. Excellent. You should definitely do it. Yeah, you should at least explore it. Like he's brought it up and it sounds interesting to you. At the very least, you should explore it. Put that cherry in there and get some flavor happening. Yeah, well, the first thing I'm going to have to do when Duke Uni. I thought Duke was your mate. Yeah, no, definitely. I think the uni would have the pointers on what they think people do with the degree. Sounds like a pretty cool idea to me, but yeah, it's. I guess it's kind of stating the obvious, but then again, people often don't say this. It's got to be something you're happy. It's got to be something you're interested in. Less of an issue, you know, going in mature, but yeah, kids going straight from school to uni, so often pressured into what's going to make their parents happy. Never a friends with a duke. Step away from a Chad. Hey, Safa, how you doing? Man, that's pretty good. Nice, simple drink. What do we do? The meat hook or the arbitrary nature of time? Wait, how did they suggest serving? The arbitrary nature of time. Do 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 do. That's Boulevardy. Okay, so that's supposed to be in. Guys, oh, you know what? I've got so much clear ice. I made the last 2 weeks. I've made a bunch of clear ice. Fuck it. All right, I might go out and get some clear ice. Fuck it. You had 40. We got 38. Here at home with inverted air conditioning. Yeah, our aircon. Our aircon didn't give out. Yesterday there was a tiny stutter in the power, just like where like everything went off for a second or two, came back, went off for just like 2-3 seconds, and then came back, and that was it. Kind of where like, oh, everyone's running the fucking air conditioners at the same time, power outage. I don't think I've had a power outage like that before. Just where everything goes for a second or two, comes back, then goes out for a few more seconds, and then back, and there's no more disruptions. Oh. Oh, you're off to the States in a week with the snow. Yeah, Sapper was. I think it was obviously just the power grid stuttering. It was interesting. My initial thought was, okay, was there a surge there? Is that going to have? Is that going to have made a circuit breakers trip? So the second time when it was out for a couple of seconds, I just went out to check, and didn't look like any circuit breakers tripped. Came back in and everything was back on, and I was just like, oh, okay. It was, and because today was noticeably hotter than yesterday. Like it's still 30 odd now. I'm gonna put my phone back over here. Yeah, still 35. So it's warm. It's still hotter now than it was all day yesterday, and it's like fucking 8:30 at night. When are they saying it'll go down? Not at all. It's only going down to the low 20s after midnight. Damn. And what's hilarious is tomorrow the maximum's 23. It's going to be hotter at midnight than it will be all day tomorrow. Then it's all mild again. 21, 23, 23, 23, 22. Oh, and then it's randomly saying 30 Sunday. I bet that changes a lot. Oh, second week of no rain, though. That's interesting. We've had so much rain, an unseasonable and unexpected amount of rain this summer. To get 2 weeks in a row with no rain is actually unusual. I bet the trains had to be careful, actually, run a bit slower because the tracks could buckle. Where'd that come from? RM550X? New power supply. Did I miss something? Oh, I'm always missing things. What the hell? Ah. Wait, what's the garnish on arbitrary nature of time? Orange peel? Yep, okay. I'm ready. I'm going to make an arbitrary nature of time. Actually, quite looking forward to this one. All right, so this is supposed. Yeah, I'll do this as a short one. It's behind me on my left. Oh, right. Yes, sorry. God, My webcam's more resolution. Yeah, no, that was Dr. Abigail updated my PC like, I don't know, a year or two ago, and I hadn't thrown that box out, and I've since been using it to prop things up. So it's so funny you're saying that. It's like, I got no idea what you're talking about. Oh wait, that box that I used to prop things up. Sure, that's the whole thing. All right. So, okay, step one. I have to rinse a couple of things. All right. So I'm going to be going back and forth a bit. The nature of this sour, all these things have to get rinsed. All right, so give me a minute. Oh, you don't want to go back to work? You're going to have more 40-degree heat at work tomorrow? Should I put AIDS? Look, I'm going to be gone for a couple minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe I should put AIDSy on. Apocalypse AIDSy. Where are we? Come on, YouTube. What are you doing? Okay, so we'll all right, I'm going to full screen that. Let's see for a second. Okay, let's try this. Share screen. AIDSy up. What are we doing? Okay, I don't even want to be there. We'll just put AIDSy on, and I'll full screen him. I'll just be gone a couple minutes. Just tell anyone we'll be back in a couple minutes. Oh, his jaw's fallen off. I might stop him there. Oh dear. I know. It's very realistic AIDSy at that point. Okay, that's pretty funny, Rose. I like that. All right, time to make another cocktail. I got myself all ready. So now this one's going to be short, so less than 60 seconds talking, theoretically, might be quicker than the last one to make. Let's see. I still actually have to put this other stuff away. So let's do that. Right, so this whiskey goes away. Done with that. What's this one? Just double check the recycle. No, not doing that anymore. I am doing arbitrary nature of time. Rye whiskey. Okay, so this can go away, and I need the aperitivo cherry liqueur. Okay, so you go back in here, in the mysterious cupboard of mystery. Luego este main cherry liqueur. Why am I getting confused by my cupboard? Honestly, it hasn't changed that much. I don't know what's confusing me. A bit of red aperitif. Wait, no, Jesus. The second time I picked up the wrong one. Oh, I forgot. Man, I forgot what the cherry bottle looks like. Okay, put that over there. Okay, we want orange bitters and chocolate. These back. Right, get the orange bitters out. I think the chocolate bitters is here. Chocolate. Good. Okay, so this and this. Rye whiskey. Which one's this? Legacy. Why not? Let's do that. Probably my favorite one, actually. Okay. That to that to that. Orange bitters and chocolate bitters. Okay, let's take the lids off everything. So I'm ready. Okay. The cherry liqueur. The aperitivo. And the rye whiskey. We start with the rye whiskey. Gosh darn it. Okay. 45 mils ready. Okay. It's all ready. Well, let's get it happening. All right. Video overnight. Get the GoPro back. Okay, let's bring that sucker up. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's start. Okay, rye whiskey. Cherry liqueur. Two dash orange bitters. One dash chocolate bitters. Alrighty. That's the ingredients. Stop that for a sec. Put the lid back on everything. All right. Want to put some Ice Baby in this glass. right, let's start this sucker up. That tastes, oh, that tastes good. Okay. Let's get our sexy gyros in here. Okay. Strain that in. And do a twisted body. All right. Donezo. Did my quota for the evening. Okay. Now we move this one. Oops, and that's tangled around that. We don't want that. Right. This over here. Okay, turn that on. Get this sucker lined up. Where are we? Like that. That looks about right. That looks right to me. Okay, recording, and we're off to the races. G'day, cocktail lovers. It isn't often that a cocktail gives me an existential crisis, but when they call it the arbitrary nature of time, it gets me thinking all sorts of strange thoughts. In practical terms, this drink invented in the New Orleans bar Cure, it's kind of a fruity cousin of a boulevardier, taste-wise. Oh, it's got a really nice balance of rich flavors. Here's how we make it. In a mixing glass, we put 1.5 ounces or 45 mils of rye whiskey, and then 30 mils or 1 ounce of a bitter red aperitivo, then 1 ounce or 30 mils of a bitter red aperitivo, like Campari. Follow that with 2/3 of an ounce, around 20 mils of cherry liqueur. Then we're doing 2 dashes of orange bitters and 1 dash of chocolate bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. Then strain it into a rocks glass over a big chunk of ice and garnish it with a twist of orange peel. This has that great boozy vibe that classic New Orleans drinks have, although this is a modern drink, but I recommend you try it and experience the arbitrary nature of time. Ha! Need to take a picture. I did not take a picture. Gosh darn it. Okay, let's do that. Hey, Hannah, by the way. Hope things are looking at least a bit better for you. How you feeling wise? All right. Just going to bring this light back over for a second. And get a good picture of this drink for promotional purposes on the social media. There we go, that's pretty good. Where's my gosh darn phone? Let's go. Okay, that's easy. Turn that off and put it over there. Bring the chair back. Bring the drink over here. And it's all good in the hood. Yes, exactly what I said was making it. Arbitrary nature of time leading to those existential crises. I'm going to put my cherry in here too. Oof. Too much of this huge, chunky, sexy clear ice I made. Ugh. It's kind of like it takes a day to make, and then you just put it in a drink and it's gone. Speaking of the arbitrary nature of time, set up your nightly nebulizer treatment. Nice. Hang out with, yeah, let us keep you company while you do your nebulizer. And I hope it's helping. Like, I hope the nebulizer is helping. And I hope having some company is helping. Because that was always the purpose of these live streams. And I got seriously into them after COVID. Oh, it's a breathing thing. I'll give a very bad and probably inaccurate description. It's a plastic thing, and it vaporizes medication for you, and you breathe it in. I mean, we're on the internet, so I could look up what is a nebulizer. Device that can deliver high doses of medicine quickly and easily. Administers medication in the form of a mist inhaled into the lungs, commonly used for treatment of asthma and other respiratory disorders like, COVID. It is your vaping medicine. Would it work with gear? Not in any way that I'd be willing to recommend. Maybe work with like hash oil. That is actually pretty good. Like that. That's an 8 out of 10. Two 8s out of 10 tonight. I'm getting better at picking them. I started to doubt myself a couple of weeks ago when I made some. I was like, oh, that's actually not very good. So I thought it would be. Actually, that's not a bad description, strictly Sega. It's like my CPAP machine, but whereas my CPAP machine is only pumping air, Nebulizer is pumping medication like Ventolin. It's a new invention idea. But people are already vaping weed. Oh god, I was just thinking if you could somehow like vape mushrooms, the vaping would become a whole part of it. Could you imagine if you were tripping balls and you were just able to blow huge clouds of mist? That'd be a thing, wouldn't it? Damn. In Minecraft, I hasten to add, kids, drugs are bad, okay? And the authorities know what's best for you. And if something's illegal, it's definitely bad. It's not because of outdated ideas of morality over reality, okay? How are people bitching about? Oh, I know, yeah. It's just it's psychology, and certainly some clientele of uh, uh, injecting room are going to be sleazy scumbags who will commit crimes in the area. Very small number of them, because most of them are in the phrase of, don't shit where you eat. Oh, that's the whole thing. Not putting death caps in the beef Wellington. Vape the whole cloud of it into, man. You reckon her trial is going to get a lot of international attention? Because I think the story already has. Because I'm fascinated at what has motivated her to do it. Yeah, I think stories of abuse are going to come out. Doesn't excuse it, but damn. But also, yeah, I think that woman is not really on quality speaking terms with reality, because, well, none of this has gone to trial, so none of this has been proven, so I'm speaking hypothetically. But Jesus, thinking you were going to get away with that is just ridiculous. Something has made you not be a good judge of reality. And yeah, my mind went immediately to trauma because of abuse. But I guess we may well find out. Could have slightly believed her story had she not taken steps to cover up the crimes. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. I want to be. I'm not being sarcastic like when I talk about in Minecraft. I mean absolutely legit for real. It's not a justification. But I was talking about motivation. And I strongly suspect that was her motivation. Not preempting anything, but just when you look at who it was, it fits a certain scenario, which I'm not going to say anything about because who the hell knows? Like, no one's listening, but you don't want to leave yourself open to legal proceedings anyway. Yeah, I don't think the whole trial thing is going to go well for her. I don't think. I will be super surprised if she doesn't end up pleading guilty, like cut some sort of deal to plead guilty. Discord, you'll say. Yeah, I can still be responsible because it's on my stream though. No, you just got to be worried. Oh yeah, and what came out later, I'm not sure this is 100% established, but the ex-husband had been invited to the dinner and didn't go, and there was also suggestions she had. Oh yeah, so you'll bring that up too, yeah. And there's also suggestions she had tried to poison him before. Again, I don't know how much of this is true. It'll be interesting to see what comes out in the court case. Like I said, might not even go to trial. Like she may get solid legal advice, like, "Hey, you're like so like guilty as fuck," and the the cops are definitely going to win this case. But they offered a deal this many years for a guilty plea. Actually, I don't think she's going to get. She's not going to get away with less than life. Killing 3 people, no matter what her motivation, she's not getting away with less than life. And I think if they put it to her, it's like, we'll cut you this slack if you plead guilty and save us the hassle of a trial. Okay, blame Thatcher. That just brings something funny to mind. Everything that got worse in the world, in the Western world, and worse for privileged is because of Reagan and Thatcher. It's not even a joke. You look at everything that started to get worse after 1980, and because the policies enacted by Reagan and Thatcher affected so much of the Western world, and in fact, the whole world. And just corporations got more and more power. Individuals got less and less. The fucking happened with the rise of Reagan and Thatcher. It just did. So you're saying she'd invited him a couple of times? She gave her kids the food but scraped them off. Well, the simple fact is, logic suggests she's lying about almost everything. The Hansons? Do you mean those blonde kids with the song Mbop? Because I would blame them for a lot, quite honestly. I think they've got crimes to answer for. Oh, man, that drink is really quite good. Nice. Nice drinks tonight. Hey, yeah, Harry. Born in 85. Learned how much damage Reagan did. Oh, God. The years he refused to even say the word AIDS. Was he? Yes, okay. We're on the same page. Hansons. History's greatest monsters. The Hanson brothers. Exactly. See, Hannah, the circumstantial evidence is overwhelming. No one has hair that shiny and luscious without secrets. There was something going on. Like Taylor Swift. Have you noticed the right wingers getting really weirdly obsessive about Taylor Swift? God, it's so fucking weird to see. But I think it's just because they've seen through social media, they can propagate the most ridiculous shit and it gets everywhere. And humans being humans, when you hear something over and over again, you just kind of go, maybe there's something to it. Yes, yes. Taylor Swift had the mic taken from her by Kanye, which, while that seemed like a weird bit of behavior from Kanye, I think what he was saying was basically right. Like Taylor Swift getting that award, um, and the album Kanye was talking about was by far better. Oh, and that's the whole thing with the she's dating a famous player, and they're all weird. Oh yeah, no race. He was legit correct. It was odd, irrational behavior, and it's kind of like he got odder and more irrational after that. But he was true. All the single ladies. Now, Rose, now I'm just imagining you doing the dance as you type that. Oh yeah, no, a bunch of them did support R. Kelly because they fucking love misogyny. No, okay. A lot of people saying like, why are they being so unhinged? And I think there are two reasons. One is as recently as like 5 years ago, they were touting the white nationalists, right wingers, were touting Taylor Swift as the perfect white woman, the proof of racial superiority, and she wasn't making any public statements against it. And this went on for quite a while. That she was being held up as a flag bearer for white supremacy, and eventually it took too long, but eventually she went very public with no, fuck that shit. And she has since made many more public statements on progressive issues. And Hannah, absolutely, it's the nature of them that they're unhinged. There's no two ways about that. Uh, and but they'd held her up as, the perfect white woman, and she didn't speak out against it. And so they did it for quite a while. Then she eventually spoke out, so she got a backlash. But there are the elements of, an influential woman is a threat to them, so they have to attack her. But also, it's you get the trolls, the people who are doing it for the lulz, and because they have worked out, they can go and do ridiculous, unhinged shit, and it will get out there. Like, I don't know, I saw someone screenshot something from some fringe website. You're like, oh yes, an insider said that Taylor Swift took part in satanic rituals and the corrupt Hollywood elite forced her to drink the blood of children that was sacrificed in order to give her success. And it's just like, straight up dumb, stupid shit. And but it's being propagated. And Hannah, that is a huge thing. She was like a pretty white woman who looked wholesome. And so they trumpeted her as being not just a champion of conservatism, which I don't mind, but they were literally championing her as a paragon of white supremacy. And she eventually said, oh no, fuck that shit. And they got super angry. So music elevator, declare you hate massively popular Sun Tzu, when your enemy is making a mistake, let them. Absolutely. It seems like a very bad blunder, like Jordan Peterson trying to pick fights with Elmo. Jesus Christ, that guy is getting further and further from reality. And to be fair, unhinged behavior, yeah. And Trump knows he can do and say anything. And so long as he tells the fuckwits who vote for him, you're right to be an obnoxious, bigoted piece of shit, they go, yeah, he tells me I'm good. I'm voting for him. You're watching some soccer, Safa. Big Problem Award Show have. Oh, yeah. No, there is deep, deep, deep racism in the Grammys are shit awards. Everyone wants them, but they are shit. The awards are nothing. And yeah, giving Macklemore the best hip hop album is fucking offensive. And I don't hate Macklemore. He's done a bunch of stuff I like. I don't hate him, but giving him best hip hop album with who he was up against is just a fucking insult. Oh, that's a good one. Celebrity fight: William Shatner and George Takei. Oh, I mean, Shatner's a funny guy. He's a good guy and all that, but he should not go against George Takei because he doesn't have what it takes to take on George Takei. Like there was a line, yeah, there was the roast of George Takei, and William Shatner was on there, and it was like, you know, oh, good on you, George, for coming out, being an icon for the gay community years after it could have possibly had a negative effect on your career. And a bit of a dig, not very harsh, but it was George Takei said, like, Bill, you have the worst gaydar in human history. The fact that when you even look like that shirtless fencing scene Takei did in the original series, as like Shatner not picking up any gay vibes from that, that's just comedy gold. Oh yeah, that's probably the most benign thing Taylor Swift said, telling people to register to vote. So there's Jay-Z. Oh, is this who he was up against? Macklemore is against Jay-Z, Drake, Yeezus, and Kendrick. Yeah, no, there's again, don't hate Macklemore. I like a lot of his stuff, but giving him best hip hop album against that is a fucking travesty. Massive amount of racism, but it goes both ways. Well, tokenism, it's not as big a problem as racism, but it's not great. So if you reckon you have good gaydar, I don't know, dude. There's a whole thing. And yeah, that would be another reason for right-wing men to be upset that the majority of Taylor's fan base is women and gays. Yeah. If women, yeah, no, it's a surefire way to get the most vitriolic, psychopathic hatred, not just online, but in traditional media and in politics, is to be a woman who speaks out. There's just so many horrific examples of that. Somebody's like, hey, and I can say it all because I'm a cishet white man. Everything's geared to make my life easy. It is unfortunately the way of things. I did watch an interesting interview on YouTube a little while back. As Adam Conover, who was famous for series on some TV thing called Adam Ruins Everything. It was a comedic look at what people think happened in history and things that people think are true. And he delved into it and saying the popular conception of what's true is just completely wrong. And here's the evidence that it's completely wrong. And so that was the joke. Adam ruins everything. It's like, well, I was happy thinking this is this. And Adam goes, no, none of that's true. And he has a YouTube channel where these days he does long form interviews. He has a podcast, but it's on YouTube as well. And I've watched a couple of his longer interviews recently, but there was one with this guy saying what the left is getting wrong about the right. And the big thing is this guy's saying, like, look at the history. The organizational power of the right is freaky. And it's basically every time there's a progression of social justice, there is a really unhinged backlash from the right. And it's kind of like people often think like, we got a victory, whether it's civil rights or rights for women or marriage equality or whatever. And it's like, we win. And the right's going, no, you fucking didn't. And they will do a decades-long campaign to overturn those advances. And you got to kind of watch out for it. Who's saying, Hannah, right-wing men aren't Taylor fans because they're very upset and threatened by a successful woman. Yeah. Oh, here's the interesting one. So conservative women often do speak out and promote conservative ideals. And yes, Hannah, a big difference between being conservative and subservient. But here's the thing I notice recently, like the alt-right, the ones who were rising up on the internet, I don't know, 5 to 10 years ago. They're less of a thing now than they were then, I think. But and you had these women who were championing it. So it's like, oh, you're undermining the left-wing thing that the right is anti-women, because here are these strong, outspoken women promoting these things. And the number of them, the women who a couple years down the line went, wow, okay, I thought I was doing something for a movement, but these men just genuinely treat me like shit. And it's like, yeah. Which is not to say there are not progressive or left-wing men who are, sorry, I got to phrase this right. There are definitely left-wing or progressive men who are horrible to women, who are horrible to other minorities. Gross hypocrites. It definitely happens. But it's kind of like when some of these really outspoken conservative women get fucked over by conservative men and they're quite upset by it. It's like that meme about, oh, I never thought I'd get my face eaten off by a leopard, says the woman who voted for Leopards Eating People's Faces Party. It's kind of like if you're on a progressive movement, and let's be honest, the dominant people in progressive movements are white men, and the second most dominant group are white women. But so when you're a woman who gets fucked over by the guys in a progressive movement, or if you're any sort of minority group who supports a progressive movement and then gets fucked over by them, it's like, oh, they fucking lied or whatevs. But it's kind of like if you're in a minority and you get fucked over by one of these, I don't even just mean conservative, I mean arch right-wing groups. When you get fucked over by them, it's like, what did you think was going to happen? At least if you get fucked over by progressives, you can go, well, that's disappointing. Their actions don't match their rhetoric. When the right-wingers do it, you just go, their actions specifically match their rhetoric. How the fuck could you be surprised? Your favorite subgroup of men who are massively offended by feminism. Again, to a large extent, I think those sad losers don't legitimately believe what they're saying, but they use it as an argument to try and undermine feminism. There's definitely a chunk of them who completely believe it, but the loudest voices saying that are grifters and con artists who are just trying to exploit alienation, and they fucking suck. But yeah, it's it's weird for all these phrases that came out of these right-wing dickheads. Facts don't care about your feelings. Ooh, the cancel culture. Ooh, is political correctness. And they're driven by emotion. They aggressively try to suppress speech they don't agree with and punish people who they don't agree with. It's like, oh no, they're hypocrites, which is largely why I refuse to engage with them or waste much time on them, because people say like, you should debate. No, I shouldn't. That person is fundamentally dishonest. They're just going to lie. It's like they'll say 10 things and expect me to waste my time contradicting all 10 of them. And it doesn't matter if I successfully shoot down all 10 ridiculous bullshit arguments they made, they'll just gloss over the fact I totally destroyed them and then just say a bunch more bullshit. And it's like, I'm sorry, I can see through this ridiculous crap you're doing, and I'm not going to waste my time. I had a mutual friend in high school, took one look at uniform from a religious school. He probably should have waited till you started cramming religious views down your throat before saying it. So it's just like, just because you get sent to a religious school doesn't mean you're an evangelist. Yeah, yes, he was making a prejudgment, being prejudiced, if you will. And it may be, you just said hi and then you went nuts. Yeah, it maybe should have been a discussion and not an accusation, which is funny. It's just like why I've never made a big deal of atheism in my YouTube stuff, despite the fact, by most definitions, I'm atheist. But it's just because there were so many complete cockheads who made being atheist their whole identity, and they were just cockheads. Hey, Justin, by the way. So tempted to save this bit of funky clear ice and use it again, but as I was saying earlier, I actually made a whole bunch of it in the last 2 weeks. So I think I've got like half a dozen big chunks of clear ice. So yeah, it can wait. I'll just let it melt. As disappointing as it is, because it's just incredibly clear and it looks so cool, and I could reuse it, but I won't stress about it too much. God, the more I say it, the more I think, yeah, you know what? You should go out, put that in a little zip bag and put it back in the freezer. But I'm not going to. Strictly saying you're agnostic because you're raised Christian, not fully prepared to let it go. And that's fine. There's the whole thing. As a general rule, if someone's not being an absolute bigot, I'm not going to go to town on their beliefs. I do occasionally warn people, don't ask me questions you don't want the answer to. But yeah. So Hannah wasn't just being prejudiced. His religious views were that religion was toxic, it's no good, or all sheep. Yeah, that is a view on religion. I also won't pretend that there aren't a massive amount of good works done in the name of religion. And while I do genuinely think religion is stupid and wrong, that doesn't by definition mean religious people are stupid. There are definitely people who were way smarter than me in every meaningful way who are religious believers, and because that's just something that works for them. Oh god, Atomic Blonde, what feels like an endless series of movies of the hot or young woman whose secret is they're a trained killing machine. I didn't mind Atomic Blonde, actually. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it. Your view's simple. You do you, I do me. Yeah. And this is the thing, like someone says, because of my religious beliefs, I can't do this. I'm like, okay, that's how you want to live your life. But if they say, because of my religious beliefs, you can't do this, it's like, oh, fuck you. For me, it's that simple. If someone wants to construct their own life to a series of beliefs because it works for them and they're not hurting anyone else, no matter how much I disagree with what's driving life, you know what? Go off. You do you. But when someone's using their political, social, or religious beliefs to dictate what other people can do, it's like, oh, go fuck yourself. Justin, your parents didn't raise you to believe anything. Oh, I was very much raised Catholic. I was an altar boy and everything. Is that your religious belief, Raise? You're just blessing the rains down in Africa? But honestly, pretty good. You're going to respect someone's views, not do things that make them uncomfortable. Oh, yeah. During Ramadan, don't eat in front of someone who's fasting. Yeah. And yeah, we've got a dude in my team who's doesn't eat meat or drink alcohol because of your religious beliefs. It's like, cool. So I won't organize an event where it's about eating food that's not halal. No, he does eat meat. He keeps halal, so no alcohol and no food that's not halal. So I was like, well, I'm not going to organize an event that doesn't include you. Same as if someone's kosher or vegetarian or vegan. I know I just equated religion with just choices about food, but I'm going to do something that try to type it in your tone. Kind of takes the time to. So, do you remember the thing? Someone set up a thing in some very weird remote desert somewhere in Africa. There's this solar-powered MP3 player and speakers that are forever playing that song, Africa. And it's just in some incredibly isolated bit of a desert that would be very hard to find. Dude, events. I love events. I was talking about work events. Water and ice is the meal. Okay, when I was talking about the food choices, if I was organizing an event, I wouldn't preclude people who had these things. Oh yeah, you've never heard of that? No, it was like an art installation. It's apparently quite hard to find, just in the middle of a desert somewhere. This thing that is forever playing Toto's Africa, which that's art, man. That is some real art. I can't get out of my head that I should save this bit of ice. God, I think I do it. Was it 919? Okay, you know what my excuse is going to be? I don't have my soda water. That would fit really nicely in one of my small rocks glasses now. Yes, the Mars rover playing itself happy birthday every year is pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna be back. This will be very quick. I just got to get my soda water, basically. I'm not going to drink any more booze tonight. Okay, I'm back. And I brought a snack. Back with a snack. How'd you like that, Jack? There you go. I should have beaten Macklemore. Went to a religious school. Respect us while you're here. Oh, okay. That actually sounds way more progressive than my Catholic school. Not that my Catholic school was particularly repressive. Go to Williamstown Beach, go to the White Restaurant, and sing Around the Twist. It's where they filmed the episode of The Convict. I've got a fucking video on my YouTube channel, and we're doing a tour on Great Ocean Road with some other YouTubers, and some of them wanted to stop at the lighthouse from Around the Twist just to sing the Around the Twist song in front of it. It's the only episode to remember of that show. Yeah, I don't think I remember a lot. suggesting being gay reinforces atheism. Well, again, and it's, I was going to say it's a subset, but it does actually seem to be a majority of religious people of all faiths who either aggressively or benignly judge gay people. I'm just thinking of something else I might do. I made another batch of my spiced apple brown sugar syrup, which is super yummy, which is good for making liqueurs. And I've got a rum liqueur there. I was thinking of making a whiskey one. So he once drove to Bonnie Doon to sing the famous song there. I thought it's just to enjoy the serenity. Again, strictly Sega, it's unhinged the number of people who want to quote the Old Testament to talk about homosexuality, but it's like, well, are you following all the other laws? Are you keeping kosher? And possibly the epitome of it is someone with a tattoo of the verse of Leviticus that says it's an abomination. It's like, it's only a couple verses past that where tattoos are outlawed. It's so bizarre. Yes, if religion is real, which religion? Honestly, if the tenets of the Bible are true, all the evangelical Christians are going straight to hell. Hannah respects to Ned Flanders. Yes, I do remember that one. He's going, "What's wrong, Lord? Why aren't you helping me? I followed everything in the Bible, even the parts that contradict the other parts." So these bits of apple here were what I used to make my spiced brown sugar syrup. So what I do, slice up apple. I peeled it. This is not awful with the peel, but I peeled it and then put the pieces in a bowl, covered them with brown sugar, and then in a saucepan sort of toasted some cooking spices. So it's like allspice, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, star anise, cardamom. When you cover the apples in brown sugar, the sugar sort of leaches the juice out of the apples and liquefies. So then I add the syrup and apples to the saucepan with the cooking spices, a little bit of water to make sure the sugar fully dissolves, and then just let it simmer and concentrate a bit. It makes a killer syrup, but also the bits of apple, which I keep, which have absorbed all these flavors, it's just like, man, that is so yummy. Candied apples. But it's got all these great flavors from the cooking spices. It's amazing. I'm going to pour myself some salt water. Oh, yes, the Rowan Atkinson sketch where he's the devil doing the roll call on Judgment Day, and he's doing it alphabetical order. And he's going like, atheists, are all the atheists here? And he looks out and goes, well, I bet you're feeling pretty silly right now, which is a great joke. And then he goes through a few things with B, and he's into the C's. And then he goes, Christians, are all the Christians here? Apparently, the Jews were right. It's just like, that's such a sick burn, because the atheist one is really funny. Like, as an atheist, I find that really funny. But to set that up, like, to have the religious people going, atheists, and then just a few seconds later, do that burn on Christians. Very funny. So, Rays, respect religion, but don't respect the system. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, people can use religion as a guide to better themselves, and that's cool. It's just you get these awful people that used religion as an excuse to be fucking awful. Oh, I've seen that sketch so many times. Strictly Sega. Again, as someone who was raised Catholic and became atheist, that sketch is so fucking funny. Ugh. I just enjoy that so much. Right, so I'm going to look up how to, oh God, how to pronounce Irish names. I must have looked that up before. How to make, what's the first autocomplete for make? Make money. Jesus. And then make a paper plane. How to make gravy. Nice. Oh no. What the fuck? How to make whiskey liqueur. Oh God, there's one. How to make whiskey taste like nothing. That's stupid. All right, I'm going to look up a couple of recipes, how these people think you should make whiskey liqueurs. What are these people saying? Whiskey, orange, lemon, lime, ginger root, and a lot of sugar. Okay, so they're saying about half as much sugar as whiskey. Okay, that's the tip I was looking for. A honey whiskey. How much are these people saying? Fuck off. Where's the actual fucking recipe? How fucking much though? This is, I'm like scrolling endlessly. Okay. Water, honey. Yep, again, that's 3 parts whiskey to 1 part sugar. Okay. This is good. I'm getting ideas here. Okay, DIY Drambuie from Serious Eats. How do they do this? This is kind of why I'm doing it. Okay. Honey water. So 3/4 of cup. That's actually close to even. Okay. So this is, it's gone from even to 2 to 1. All right. So I might just go and make, oh, I need a funnel though. First step to making whiskey, get whiskers. A gem of a Reddit question. How do you ruin your funeral by bringing only one item? Oh no. Oh dear. Honestly, strictly saying, that's probably where I had it for quite a while. And I've watched it on YouTube a couple of times as well. It was from a comic relief thing, I think. I think Rowan Atkinson did it a few times. There was this thing in the 80s called the Secret Policeman's Ball, raising money for Amnesty International, comedians doing stuff. I'm sure he did it for at least 1 year's Secret Policeman's Ball. Justin, you were baptized Catholic. I was also confirmed. Big fan of Get Well Soon Balloon. I'm not sure I know that one. Oh yeah, lots of Rowan Atkinson stuff on YouTube, definitely. Raise. Reddit has he fucked up some days. Oh, again, bearing in mind that a lot of the stuff posted on Confessions and Am I the Arsehole is fan fiction. It's definitely not a true thing. It's people just thinking, what could I write that would provoke a reaction from people? All right. I love what autocorrect did to you there with Rowan Atkinson. I don't know that he's underappreciated. I think, he's had a bloody 4-decade career. I think he's been appreciated. That's the funny thing. A lot of people have like their epiphany moment. I honestly couldn't tell you when I switched from being a believer, because I definitely was, through to, there's some stuff here that's okay, but a lot of it's probably bullshit, to this is definitely bullshit. I honestly couldn't tell you. There was no pivotal moment. It happened over however long it happened. Probably transitioning between later high school and uni. So I reckon, not again, I can't really tell you unequivocally, but I feel confident that by the time I left uni, I was definitely fully atheist. But I don't think it started at uni. I think it started at high school. You're Christian in an Anglican church, went Presbyterian, Methodist, mum's raised Catholic, dad's anti-religion, raised Protestant. I was just raised very Catholic. Both my parents very devout Catholic. I just realized I need a funnel if I'm going to make this liqueur tonight, which I think I will. I need a funnel. No, I was only an altar boy when I was in primary school, so I probably stopped doing it after year 6. Oh, I get what you're saying, Rays. He's less well known in America. Australia and England know him very. Yeah, no, that's a fair call. Yeah. Although they did make the Mr. Bean movies and the Johnny Dangerous movies. Okay. I mean, the Americans still don't know who Kylie is. What's wrong with them? Justin, abuse is often a catalyst for atheism, finding out that the people in the position of authority where they were supposed to be moral leaders are actually fucking garbage. There's nothing like that for me. It's just a general realization. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go and get a funnel, and then we're going to play fun and games over here while I make a liqueur for it. I'm going to do, I think, 2 parts whiskey to 1 part the syrup. Right. Give me a sec. I'm going to get a funnel and maybe a measuring cup. Oh, okay. So, I'm back. So I've got a measuring cup and a funnel. Oh. Jesus Christ. Okay. Move this. You know what? I might put some of this stuff away. Let me get one of my cheaper whiskies. One or two of my cheaper whiskies from the mysterious cupboard of mystery. Put this back. That back. What other cheaper? Okay, there we go. Oh, maybe I should put sheepdog in it. I think I'm done with sheepdog. Oh. Oh. Oh, I was going after the wrong thing there. Wait, how much of this do I have? Okay, kind of want more of that. Kind of forgetting everything's up here. What else is up here? 78 degrees. Okay. Maybe this one. Okay. Right. I think I'll use up this sheepdog. Sheepdog. All right. So Oh, and I need a bottle to put it in. I think I have some bottles here. And this come. Oh, you know what? I'll just do this one. It's like 500 mils. Oh. So I might do 200 mils of the syrup and 300 mils of whiskey. Or, because this is super sweet, maybe 150 mils of syrup. Right. Let's try this. Syrup. That much. Where's my funnel? Okay. Pour that in there. And I'll finish off the sheepdog. This stuff is so weird. And okay. Wow, that just smells so much like peanuts. Incredible. And this blended whiskey. About that much. Okay. Do that for now. And I think this is here. Yeah. Ugh. All right, let's do this. Gotta really let this. Oh man, that syrup's really heavy. Not blending. Okay. I reckon this is going to be a really tasty and bizarrely sweet whiskey liqueur. Oh, what do we miss? I was just talking about Mr. Bean. Fair enough. All right, I'm going to have a little taste of this. It'll probably taste better when it's had time to sit. But I'm going to have a little taste of this. A whiskey liqueur. I could just add a bunch. That's not really an old fashioned because there's too much sugar in it. So it does make me want to make a freezer old fashioned as well. Oh God, Mr. Bean's three-wheel car. Yes, there are. What was that? A Robin Reliant? I'm trying to think. Yes, I am back in the office, and it is a good thing it's not 40 because I hate fucking traveling on public transport in extreme heat, and you're just like rolling the dice. Is this going to be air conditioned? Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, I love that syrup I made. Oh my God, that's amazing. Yum. All right. Oh, that's fucking killer. That'll give the orange peel a nice flavor for Mrs. Angry's hot chocolate in the morning. You just hate public transport in general. I'm fine with it. Yeah, to a degree. A lot of you could argue a lot of the mannerisms of Mr. Bean are a representation of autism. So now your boss stood in your work area for 5 minutes and said, Jesus, it's hot out here. And Shocker said, it always is. That's why we keep complaining. Oh, God. 5 minutes is all it took for him to start looking for more options to cool you down. Damn it. Yes, Rays, we used to be much less kind with our language about various conditions. Oh, I've been meaning to do that for a while. So I've got a rum liqueur there, which is super yummy. And I had made a whiskey one before. Is it all? But just something I can pour straight out of the bottle over ice. And it's so fucking yummy. Also, so bad for you because there's so much sugar in it. But, you know, what the fuck? Yeah, that's also not a bad call, Justin. SpongeBob SquarePants is an exaggeration of ADHD. I just love you. How your boss had underestimated how hot it was there. 37-degree day in a loading dock with no windows, no exhaust. Oh dear. Reading stuff in Borat voice. Very nice. Yes. Old Sacha Baron Cohen. Uh, okay. Well, I'm really happy with that whiskey liqueur, and I may have more of it another night, but just a little bit of a taste. Yeah, it's going to put a bit of flavor in that as the ice melts. What was the funny thing? Because of course, Sacha Baron Cohen is Jewish and he knows Hebrew. The language, well, he knows Yiddish. The language he spoke as Borat was a mashup of nonsense sounds and Yiddish. So it's funny. One of the ones of Borat in America, uh, when he's booking into a hotel and it's run by this nice elderly Jewish couple, and they were interviewed afterwards, and they're going like, "It's so weird because he's saying this stuff that's supposedly another language, but most of it's Yiddish." And we thought, "What's he doing?" Hannah, you're off for the evening. You're medicated and exhausted. I am so glad we could give you a bit of distraction. I mean, I'm going to go to bed in 10 or 15 minutes. See, I haven't watched all the movies, so I don't know the scene. He let black dudes alter his dress style and teach him to speak. There you go. Which is just making me think of old school Ali G. The white guy who thinks he's black because he's into hip hop. So I'm going to have another of my apple treats. Oh, wait, that's because I crushed the cooking spices. I don't actually want to eat that. There's just a little grain of who knows what on there. Oh my god, this is such a fucking trick. Oh, that's also got little bits on it, which I don't. Just wiping off the little bits, which is going to make my fingers sticky. But that's okay. So yummy. Mm. Only in the voice. Mm. Okay, so that bit with the black dude's altering his dress is the first Borat movie. Okay. Are they still making new episodes of SpongeBob? Because they were making it in the 90s. What's up with Vanilla Face? Me and your homie as a mat parked yesterday outside looking somewhere. Oh dear. I'm just going to look up, is SpongeBob still being made? Auto completes to SpongeBob SquarePants. Yeah, let's have a look. Genre developed, 14 seasons. Yep, it's still in production from 99 to present. So, yeah, when they say 19 seasons, it seems like some breaks. Oh, it's like there was a break between 2017 and 2022 from the looks of this. No? I don't know. It's very hard to be sure. But yeah, if they're saying 14 seasons, but it started 25 years ago, the concept of a season is obviously kind of nebulous. God, there's some trippy shit in SpongeBob. Okay, my favorite bit in the Ali G movie is when his mates who were shut into a room and the air was cut off. Like that's young Martin Freeman and someone. And when Ali G rescues them, um, he gets into the room and rescues them, and they're fucking when he gets in there, and he's going, "What is this?" And they said, "Well, we were pretty sure we were going to die, and we just thought we should try it to see what it's like before we die." And now he goes, "Oh, what did you think?" And they went, "No." And he's going, "Okay, well, we've got to do some stuff." And they go, "Could we finish here?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." It's just. She's saying Zach Galifianakis. Yeah, he is Zach Galifianakis. I'm not saying that right. He's funny. Oh, in the what is it called? Between Two Ferns. Asked Obama, "What's it like to be the last black president?" And Obama said, "What's it like to know I'll be the last one you speak to?" I just loved how unhomophobic that scene was. The guys were literally, well, if we're going to die, it'd be interesting to know what it's like. And Ali's just, "Oh, what was it like?" And I'm like, "Can we finish?" "Yeah, okay." It's just great. Oh. And yeah, very long-term relationship with Isla Fisher. Oh, look, Justin, it wouldn't be the first time there was a single show uh, a network built all its presence on. It's kind of like Fox built itself on The Simpsons for so many years. So, it's a whole thing. Different shows that and you always see, like, particularly with the broadcast channels, when they have just a huge mega shit. Well, they have a lot of mega shit, a huge mega hit that they're pinning everything else on. It's like when they really want to push another show, they put it on straight after the huge mega hit because they're hoping the audience sticks around for the other thing. Oh yes, Bruno, where they start getting it on in the cage match, and the crowd got really mad. And also what he did at the rodeo, they I've seen an interview where they said like, "Oh yeah, we actually thought we were in physical danger at that rodeo. It's like we misjudged what we could get away with, and there was a moment where it felt like we were in some genuine danger." Um, I don't know if I watched Bruno beginning to end. I know I watched chunks of it and it wasn't bad. But Yeah, it's kind of funny because the character's so egocentric. So if something bad happens to them, you don't care because they're awful. You like Bad Grandpa? Again, I don't think I watched all of it, but there were bits of it I saw uh, that were very funny. Just really confronting things by just seeming to be like this old grandpa you can't get angry at, and but just doing terrible things. Okay, I don't know what this is a reference to. Harrison Ford interview. Sorry, I did saw a little clip of Harrison Ford. I think it was Chris Angel, Mind Freak, uh, one of those celebrity magicians in his house, and the card trick was phenomenal. It was like you had to open an orange, and the card was inside the orange. And is this your card? And it was. And Harrison Ford's going to peel the orange and gets this card out, folds it out his card, and it just the card. Harrison Ford just looks, and it's his card, and he just goes, "Get the fuck out of my house!" It's like you're a witch. Get out. Um, Great reaction to a magic trick. Um, just like, no, you're a witch. Get the fuck out. Oh dear. Okay, so yeah, we're talking about the same thing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was extremely funny. Um, it was just like, you know, you see what's going through Harrison's head. Like, I know this is an illusion. It's a trick you did. I cannot comprehend how you did it, and it's just all kinds of fucked up. And it's just like, no, no. You know what? Just get the fuck out of my house. You're a witch. Get out. And the fact that it's just Harrison Ford doing it, like he's in a celebrity's house and doing a trick with the celebrity. How's the celebrity's gonna and the celebrity reacts by just going, "Get the fuck out of my house." Very, very, very good. I'm gonna go with they didn't script that, but I don't think they could have made it better if they did script it. Um, very good. Oh, I had actually finished school when The Simpsons came out. This is funny. This was still in the deep, dark past. Uh, we were aware of The Simpsons being a juggernaut in the US for the best part of a year before it was even possible to view it in Australia. It was back in those days where the delay in getting a TV show could be anywhere from 6 months to several years, and the delay in getting a movie could be 3 to 12 months. Um, but yeah, there was bootleg merch before it was even possible to watch it. So you had Underachiever and Proud of It and Do the Bartman on Casingle. Um, uh, I remember the Black Bart T-shirt, a black version of Bart Simpson, and that was before you could even watch it here. I did see, remember the shorts from the Tracy Ullman show? I did see one of them run before a movie once, like watching it at Hoyt's in Sydney. It was the family photo one. So that was my first actual direct exposure to The Simpsons. It was in the cinema, and one of the Tracy Ullman shorts ran before the movie was. I don't even remember what the movie was. I remember the cinema, which is not there anymore. It was a Hoyt's on George Street in Sydney, and yeah, it was the family photo short from the Tracy Ullman show, where the drawing style was much more rudimentary, as were the voices. Actually, I'll see if I can find a still of it. if I just search Simpsons short family photo. So Homer had the famous line, just smile, as far as anyone knows, we're a normal family. Oh yeah, okay, this is the family. Where is it? I'll get it. Okay, this is the photo they end up with. I'll share it. So you can see the illustration style was much more rudimentary. So that was the first Simpsons I saw. That's the family photo they end up with. So you can see they basically look the same, but the drawing style is a bit more rudimentary. Hello, Kirsten, by the way. I need to catch up with you sometime, even if it's just on Discord, because I've been developing this idea of doing a documentary about Australian distillers, and I wanted to get a bit of time to brainstorm some ideas with you. So it kind of came out. I'm getting like a long way ahead on my YouTube videos. I'm currently up to like the second half of March. I've got enough videos to have things scheduled until the second half of March. Ray's got to bounce. Good. I'm going to bed momentarily. So take care, man. And in fact, it was Ray's idea, which he credits to sunstroke and exhaustion, that if I'm so far ahead on videos, I should get it so there's a couple months where I don't have to make videos and spend a heap of time on something bigger. And what we've narrowed down to, although it still needs a lot of conceptualizing, is a documentary about Australian distillers. I've kind of been going to maybe a full cycle thing, like the way that some of the distillers have a relationship with specific farmers for the grain they use, and going to the distillery, and then maybe finishing with cocktail bars who are using local product. I don't know. It's very early stages. It will probably be at least another month or two of thinking about it, and then maybe several months of the logistics and the shooting and the editing. Who knows? And maybe even because Dr. Abigail has volunteered to like project manage / produce the thing. And part of it may even look to, are there film festivals this is going? Is there funding? Because it could be a tourism thing. Thank you, Kirsten. And I just your very deep and broad knowledge, I would love to take advantage of, because the biggest things, yeah. Well, see, the biggest thing is the stories. And I feel like you know the people with the best stories, and to put me in contact with people, because that's the thing. I want stories because there are such amazing and interesting people in the Australian distilling scene. And I think there are definitely just like so many great stories to be told. Who knows? It might end up becoming a series of short films, short docos, or it might be one longer. Might be an ongoing series. Might be something I keep doing for YouTube. Who knows? But it exists as a concept. I'm going to spend a bit of time, at least a couple of months, solidifying the concept and then having a plan and then executing on that. So good. Glad you're on board, Kirsten. We'll find a time to have a specific chat with you, maybe on Discord or something. We'll get on a video call or something. But anyway, it's bedtime. And I've got to get up a little bit early tomorrow because I'm going into the office. So I'm going to bid you fine people farewell. What am I watching tomorrow? Dunno. We were watching The Artful Dodger last week on Disney Plus. And I have thoughts on that, which I can do spoiler free another time. Don't know what we're going to watch tomorrow. We actually have to come up with something. But I'm going to go to bed. So see all you fine people another time. Until then, it's bye.